Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and today we are going to start with a little declutter series here on my channel. I really wanted to start this year off with a fresh and lighter makeup collection, and I also wanted to show you my makeup collection, and I thought this would be a good way to do it. And because I want to start a little project pen and also a shop my stash on my channel, I thought this would be a good start for it. And I really love to declutter, so I'm really happy to share it with you today. We are starting with face products today, and at first I'm going to show you my setting sprays. I have 4 of them, I think, yes. And at first I have the Essence You Better Work fixing spray, and I only use this one for wetting my brushes because I don't want to spend a lot on a setting spray and then just use it for wetting my brushes, because the truth is you can also use water for it and it doesn't really make a difference. I think maybe it lasts a bit longer with a setting spray, so I'm using one, but you really don't have to purchase an expensive setting spray and then wet your brushes with it to apply eyeshadow. So I use this one and it's great for that purpose. So this one here is going to stay. I'm putting it aside. I think this is the box where I put in the stuff that I want to declutter, and on this side I put the things that I'm going to keep. And I think that in this box is almost nothing that I am going to get rid of, but we're getting to that. So the next setting spray is the CREASE Dewy Glow Fixing Spray, and I heard a lot of people rave about this product, but I think the people that rave about it are having dry skin, and I am combination to oily, and this setting spray is just a bit too dewy for me, but I'm keeping it for wetting my brushes again, so I don't want to waste it, and I also don't like the scent of it. I couldn't really use it on my face because I hate the scent, and it's not a specific scent, it's just the chemicals smell like something, and I don't like the smell, so I'm going to keep it, but I'm only using it for wetting my brushes for applying eyeshadow. Then the next one is the Smashbox Primer Water, and to be honest, I don't know what this product should do for you, but I don't use it as a primer because I don't like it as a primer, and I almost never use primers, and this one is not the one that I would reach for, but again, I'm keeping it for wetting my brushes. So the only setting spray that I would ever use on my face, and I almost never use setting sprays, is the Urban Decay All Nighter. I think it maybe lets my makeup last a bit longer, but I don't really see a difference, but I'm keeping it. It's just, I think it's a deluxe sample size, so it's not the big one, and yes, I'm keeping it as a setting spray, and that's enough for me because I almost never use setting sprays. Then here are my concealers and color correctors, and maybe we start off with these little guys here. So this one is the Catrice Camouflage Cream, and it's in, I don't know, does it have a name on it for the color? No. So it's the peach one, and it should color correct your dark circles, but the consistency is just way too thick and I can't really use this product, and it's almost a bit too dark for me either, so I'm going to get rid of this one. The next one is the Becker Under Eye Brightening Corrector, and at first when I got this product I was a bit disappointed because I thought it doesn't really do anything. But then I changed a lot about my makeup routine and about applying concealer, and then I have seen a video from Jamie Page, I think. She did a video together with her mom and both used this product and were raving about it. And then also Paulina from Paulina's Beauty talked about how she liked this product so much and that it's the only thing that can really erase her dark circles. And then I thought I want to try it out again, and now I love it. And I cannot believe that I haven't used it for such a long time because it's such a good product. And the funny thing is that if you look inside, you can see the color there, and It's a very light pink color, and it has a glow to it when you apply it. And this color is basically my skin color, so when I use it, I can use it all over my face, so I spot conceal with it, and I really like to use this product for color correcting. And it's great because it is my skin color, so I can use it everywhere, and then I just put on a bit of concealer and I can go out the door. So I really like it, and I'm going to keep it. Then next I have this little pot. It's also a color corrector, and it's from the beauty brand. It's from the brand Color Caramel. I don't know if you know this brand. I think it's an organic beauty brand, and I think it's from France, but I'm just guessing because of the name. And it has a very thick consistency, and I don't like it, and I'm going to get rid of this. So next we have my concealer, and my newest one is this one here from CREASE. It's the One Drop Coverage Weightless Concealer, and I have it in the color 010 light beige, and I love this concealer. The color is a bit too dark for me, so I can't really use it as a brightening concealer, but I can use it all over my face for evening out my skin tone, and I use it basically as a foundation, as a very lightweight foundation, and it's exactly my skin color, and I love it for that, and I'm going to keep it. Then I have 3 of the Age Rewind concealer by Maybelline. I love this concealer, but I absolutely hate this sponge. It gets so dirty and I hate it. So I'm going to use these up. 2 of them will be in my project pan. I have 01 and 02, and I'm going to keep both of them, and I'm going to use them up, and then I'm going to nudge, and then I won't repurchase this one because I really hate this sponge applicator. Then this one here is in the color 01 light, and it's way too yellow and also too dark for me, so these 2 are going here. So this one here is in the color 01 light, and it's way too yellow and way too dark for me, so I'm going to get rid of this. And because of the sponge applicator, I think I won't be giving it to anyone. I just will throw it away because it's not very sanitary to give it away. And yes, so I will be decluttering this one. Next I have the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer in the color Light Sand, and I really like this concealer. It's a very thick concealer and I don't use it very often, but if I want a concealer with a lot of coverage and that is a bit thicker, then I really like to use this one. So it's going here. This one is also okay. I already messed up where I put things, so let's start fresh. I'm putting these 2 here onto the side, and this one is in here, and also the 2 pots are in here. Okay, now this one here is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the color 05, and I really like this concealer, and I don't have a lot of it left. I don't know if you can see it, but I really want to use it up, and I think I'm going to repurchase it after. Next I have this e.l.f. concealer, and I don't like the highlighter. It dries down so quickly that you can't really blend it out, and it leaves a white stripe on your face, so I'm not going to use this ever again. This side is a very lightweight concealer. It's almost like the Fit Me concealer from Maybelline. It's a tiny bit lighter than that, and for that reason I think I will, well, it's not lighter in color, it's more lightweight even, and it has a bit less coverage than the Fit Me concealer, and I like the Fit Me concealer better, so I'm going to use this one up, and then I'm not going to repurchase it. Next I have a color corrector by CREASE, and I really wanted to have a green color corrector because I have so much redness on my face and I wanted to cancel it out, but this one is just too dark for me. I like the formula, but the shade is too dark and it makes my skin look really green, and it's just too much for me, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Next I have the CREASE Liquid Camouflage Concealer in the color 010 Porcelain, and I really like this concealer, and I have made a lot of progress in it, so I think I only have maybe a third left in this, and I really like it, and I'm definitely going to repurchase it when I have finished it up, so I'm going to keep it. Next I have the Makeup Revolution concealer, the Conceal and Define one, in the color I think C3. It's a cool toned one. I have a cool skin tone. I have a very fair skin with a cool undertone, so also in the concealer I try to find something cool toned. And I love the shade range from Makeup Revolution, it's awesome. And I really like this concealer. It's a bit it's a bit heavier, but I really like it, and I didn't use it that much. And this one here is a new one. I haven't used it yet, and I wanted to use up other concealers first before I opened this one. And yes, I'm so happy that I can purchase Makeup Revolution now in stores in Austria. Everything gets so late to Austria, but I'm really happy that I can buy it in store now, and I really like this concealer, but it's on the heavier side, so it's almost like the e.l.f. Camo concealer, so they are pretty similar. Then I also have this concealer in white, and I always use these for cut creases, so I'm going to keep it. That's everything we are keeping from setting sprays and concealers. And yes, I'm pretty happy with how much I have, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 concealers that I want to use up because I only have a little left in all of them, and then I have 4 other ones that I can use. Well, 3 concealers and 1 color corrector, so I think that's a good range, and I'm only going to repurchase 1 of 4 of them that I'm going to use up, so I think then I have about 4 or 5 left, and I think that's good because all of them are a bit different, and I'm really happy to have all of them. Next we have my primer and my foundations, and I'm starting off with primer. So first I want to talk about the e.l.f. Putty Primer. It's the poreless putty primer. I know they came out with some new ones, and I really like this one. I haven't been a fan of pore filling primers so far because they are always too silicone for me, and I don't like the feel of them. And I also feel like my foundation isn't lasting on them because it's almost like it's slipping off of them, so I don't like them. But this one here is different, and I really see a difference in my pores. It's really pore minimizing, and I love the consistency of it, and I really like having it on my face, so I love this primer. And I haven't been using primers that often before, but this one I almost reach for it every day, and I really like it, so I'm going to keep it. The next one is the Catrice Sensational Primer, and it's a bit too glowy for me, but I still like it. It has a bit of a tint to it, and I really like that because it cancels out a bit of my redness, and I like it for that, and I'm going to keep it. Next is the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Primer, and I think this one is better for people with a dry skin, and it's a bit too glowy for me, but it has a nice smell to it, and I like to use it under more drying foundations. And I don't use it for every day, but I like to use it for filming because then I can put on more heavier foundations on top of it, and the skin looks nice, and it doesn't matter if it's not lasting long because it's only for filming. Sometimes I leave my makeup on after filming and sometimes not. Depends on the day and the occasion I'm going to after, or what I'm doing on this day, but I don't have a lot of it left. I think maybe a third of it, and I'm going to use it up, so I'm going to keep it. And the same goes for this one. It's the Goodbye Pores Prime and Fine Poreless Blur Primer by CREASE, and this one is a pore filling primer that is way too silicone-y for me, so it doesn't make my foundation last, but I like to use it under heavier foundations for filming, so I'm also going to keep this one. To be honest, I think I'm not going to get rid of any primer at all because I still can use them for filming and I don't have that much. So the next one is the You Better Work Gym Proof Primer, and it's a color correcting green one, but it's not really doing any color correcting, to be honest. And I think it doesn't do anything at all, but it's a nice one to apply. It's very moisturizing, but not too much. It's not silicone-y and it doesn't do anything bad, and maybe it cancels out a tiny bit of my redness, and I think I will use it from time to time, so I'm going to keep this one. Then this one here is the Makeup Revolution Color Corrector, also in green, and this one is really cancelling out some of my redness and it's light enough for me to use. So I think I will continue using this one, but when I have finished it up, I think I will look around for another one because I'm not that happy with it, but it's okay. But I think there will be a better one out there and I'm on the search for it. So when I've used it up, I will be looking for another color correcting primer. Okay, so that's all my primers and I'm going to keep all of them. And now we're going to foundation, and I think that I won't be decluttering a lot of them because I don't have a lot of them and I can always use them for filming. So let's start with the ones that I really like to use in my normal life and my favorite foundation of all time, and I have it for years and it's just looking the best on my skin and it lasts the longest, and it's so skin-like and it doesn't maximize my pores, it doesn't really show up on the skin, it looks so natural and so beautiful, but it still has enough coverage to cancel out my redness, and it wears off so nicely on my skin, and it's the Clinique Even Better foundation, and I love this one. I can't believe that it's not getting enough. I can't believe that no one else is talking about it on YouTube. I mean, I have heard some people talk about it, but not that much, and not a lot say that it's their favorite. So I think that my skin is a bit different than a lot of other people's skin, and it's very sensitive, it's acne prone, and it has a lot of redness and it has a lot of texture, and I have some light wrinkles. I have turned 30 in summer and I start to see wrinkles around my eyes, and the only reason why I don't use it every day is that sometimes I want to have only a BB cream on and I don't want to really use a foundation, so that's why I'm not using it every day, but I'm going to keep it. I love it and it's the best. Okay, let's talk about tinted moisturizers first. Maybe I have these two. This one here is the NYX Bear With Me, what is it called? It's the Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil, and I have it in the lightest shade, and it's a very nice rosy color, but it's a bit too light for me and I don't really like the formula. I think it really emphasizes the texture on my skin, and it sticks to dry patches sometimes. Sometimes it's better, sometimes not. I think it depends on how my skin is on that day. So I don't use it every day. I have to be very careful when to use it, but sometimes I do, and I also like to lighten things up with this one. So I'm going to keep it, but it's not the best one. And when I do another declutter in maybe half a year or so and I still haven't really used it, then I'm going to declutter it. But for now, it's going to stay. Then this one is from an organic beauty line, and it's called Benecos Natural BB Cream 8-in-1 in the color Fair. They only had 3 shades of this one, and this is working for me, but it's a tiny bit too dark and maybe a bit too yellow, so that's the problem I have most of the times, that foundations are always too yellow for me because I have a cool undertone and If a foundation looks ashy to you, that's maybe the color I would need, and maybe it is too yellow for me, even if it's looking ashy for you. So that's how cool toned my skin is. And so almost every foundation is too yellow for me. But this one is only a tiny bit, and because it's a BB cream, it works. It still works. It's also not the best BB cream. I'm on the hunt for a good BB cream. I have tried so many so far, and I'm not finding the perfect one for me. I have had one from Essence, and they discontinued it, and since then I haven't found another one that I like, so I'm going to keep it and I'm going to use it up, but I'm still on the hunt for a better one. So if you have recommendations for BB creams, I would love to hear them, because I really need one, and I need a very light and cool toned one, and that's the main problem most of the time. And also most of the times I don't like how they sit on the skin and how they wear off, so it's okay. But if you have recommendations, I would love to hear them. Then next is the NYX Born to Glow foundation, and I like foundations with a more natural, too glowy finish, but not dewy, and that lasts a good time, and I think it does all that. So I really like this for days when I want to have a more lightweight foundation and a bit less coverage. I really like this one, and I'm going to keep it. Then this one here is also from an organic beauty line. It's called Terra Naturi, and I think it's a German-based makeup line, and I don't know, to be honest. I bought it in a drugstore, and it's the Glow Skin Foundation in the color 02 Rosy Beige, and it has a nice color for me, and it's not really lasting that long, and it's also not very high coverage, but I like foundations like this, and I'm going to keep this one. Next we have the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. It's the Luminous and Smooth foundation, and it's in the color 115, but I think that the names of the colors are all different in Europe and in the United States, so I think you won't be finding this color in the United States if you're looking for it. It's a nice foundation. It's also not too high in coverage, and it feels nice on the skin, and I like to use it from time to time. Sometimes it's too drying for me, and sometimes it's too dewy. I don't know, it depends on my skin and how it is on that day, but I like to use it sometimes, and I'm going to keep it. Then next I have this one here from Dermacol, and I bought it because I thought I need something very high coverage, and I like to use this one for filming, so I'm going to keep this one. I don't like to use it for every day because it's so heavy and so thick, but for filming it's perfect, and I'm only applying it around my eyes, so I don't need to apply it all over my face. And I like to use a more glowy or more pore-filling primer, so I'm using the Essence and the Catrice one I showed you before that I'm only using for filming, and I'm using it with this foundation, and it's the most full coverage foundation I have ever seen, and it's good for filming, so I'm going to keep it, and I like it for that. So next is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define foundation in the color F3, and I like this foundation. It's okay. It lasts a good time, but not the whole day on me, but it wears off very nicely, and it's, I would say, medium coverage, and I like it for that, so I'm going to keep it. Next I have these two stick foundations from Makeup Revolution, and I have it in the color F3 and F10 because I thought I could use F10 for contouring, but it's way too warm toned for me, so I'm not going to keep this one. And I also don't like this one as a foundation because it slips around my face and it doesn't really last, and I hate it when a foundation does this, so I'm going to get rid of both of these. And same goes with the ordinary serum foundation. It slips off my face and it doesn't last. I want my foundation to last the whole day and that I can touch my face, and I can't do it with this foundation, so I really don't like the serum foundation. It's nice when I first apply it, but then it wears off awfully, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Then next I have two different shades from the full cover, what is it called? The coverage foundation from The Ordinary, and I have it in the color 10P and also 1.2P, and it's the pink toned one. They're both pink toned and they are almost too yellow for me, both, and the lighter one is too light and the darker one is too dark, so I have to mix both of them. And I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of this foundation. It's okay, I can use it, but it's not lasting good on my face. I think it wears off not so beautiful. I will keep them both because I can use them for filming and I don't want to waste anything, and so I'm going to keep them and I'm using it for filming, and that's okay. The last one is the Superstay 24-Hour Full Coverage Foundation from Maybelline. I have mine in the color 20 Cameo, and I like this foundation. It's very full coverage, and I don't usually wear full coverage foundations. I like the more natural skin-like foundations. I only use foundations like this a few times a year, but it's okay for that, and I'm going to keep it because sometimes I want something full coverage and then I'm reaching for this one because it lasts a good amount of time, so I'm going to keep it. Here are all my powders, and as you can see I have 10 of them, and I think I'm going to get rid of some of them because not all of them are working for me. Because I have oily to combination skin, that means that my skin also gets very dry, and I have to be very careful with what powder I'm going to use because I need a lot of powder for my oily parts of the face, but I can't use too much because my skin also gets very dry, so I have to be very careful. And this one here is from Hourglass. It's from the Ambient Lighting series, and it's in the color Ethereal Light, which is the lightest one, and I have used it quite a lot, and I think this powder is best for me for the summertime because it is very finely milled, but it can get a bit too heavy for me sometimes, so I'm only using it when I'm very oily, and that's usually when it's getting hotter outside, so I'm using this one in summer and spring, and yes, I'm looking forward to use it again in the summertime. I think I will be able to use this one up. I think I have maybe used 1/3 of it so far, and I will continue using it in springtime, and I'm absolutely going to keep it. Next is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder in the color 05 Fair, and I bought it because a lot of people raved about it for some time here on YouTube, and I bought it because I thought I need this powder. It looks so good. Everyone said that it's the best drugstore loose setting powder, but it's too drying for me, and I'm not sure if I want to keep it. Well, I don't have that much left of it, so maybe half of it is left, and I think I can use this one up. I'm not going to use it under my eyes because it's too drying for that, but I think I will use it for other things like cleaning up or sharpening my contour. I don't really contour, but maybe I want to bake underneath sometimes, and then I can use this powder. And I have to be very careful when I'm using it, but I think I will keep it because I have only half of it left, and I think I will be able to use it up, so I'm going to keep it, but it's not the best, and I'm absolutely not going to repurchase it. Next, this powder here is living in my purse because it has a nice mirror in it, and it also has a lot of coverage to it, so I like this one for touching up during the day. It's the Maybelline, I think, Superstay 24 Hours. It's from this line where also it's the same line as the foundation, and it's in the color 20 Cameo. I really like this one because it has a lot of coverage to it, and I love it for touching up, so this is going back into my purse after this video. and I love to have it there. And I'm also thinking about getting a second one for doing my makeup with, because sometimes I'm only using color correctors and concealer, and then it would be nice to have a powder with a bit more coverage to it. So I'm thinking about getting another one, and I really like this one, so I'm going to keep it. This is what my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder looks like. It's in the lightest shade and it fell down and broke, and I have only so little left of it. I'm still using it and I want to use it up, but I don't know how much use I get out of this one. But I'm going to keep it. I love this powder and I'm thinking about repurchasing it, but it's, I think, 42 euros or pounds, I don't know. And it's pretty expensive and I don't want to purchase something. I'm not going to purchase it in the nearer future, but maybe one day. And I really liked it. It was a very nice pore blurring and very mild powder, and I really liked it for that. But I have other powders that are working well enough for me, so I don't have to repurchase it yet, but I'm going to keep it and use it up, and then I'm going to get rid of it. Next we have the Milani Prep Set and Glow powder. It's a illuminating setting powder, and I have a pretty nice pan in this one. It wasn't hard to hit pan on this one because I don't have another finishing powder, only the Hourglass one, and I felt like the Hourglass one isn't really that illuminating. This one is a tiny bit more illuminating. It's not really showing up that well, but it's okay. I'm going to keep this one and use it up because I have already hit pan and I think it won't be too hard to use it up, but I'm not going to repurchase it because it's not doing enough for having it. I don't want to have it around for this purpose, and as a normal powder it's okay, but it's not the best one. So I'm going to keep it, I'm going to use it up, and I'm not going to repurchase it. Next is my Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the color 001 Transparent, and as you can see, I also hit pan in this one and I really like it. It's a bit too heavy for me, but it's okay. I can use it around my T-zone and it's perfect for using it on my nose and around my nose because it's so pore blurring, and that's really nice. I just can't use it under my eyes. So when I'm using this one, I have to use other powders together with it. And that's okay, so I'm going to keep it. I really like it, and maybe I'm going to repurchase it. I'm not sure about it now, but for now it's going to stay. Next we have the CREASE Prime and Fine Mattifying Powder, and it's a compact powder. It's like this. I think it's in the color 110 Translucent, and I don't like this powder. It's not working for me. So I will be giving it away, maybe to a friend. I'm asking around if someone would like to have it. It has a really nice mirror in it, so I'm going to find another home for this one and I'm going to declutter it. So next is the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder, and this one is way too dark for me and way too... So this one is way too yellow for me. I can't really use it. I thought I want to try banana powders one day, and so I got this one, and I also got this one here from Too Faced, and this one has this very nice banana print. Oh, I love it. And this one smells so good. I love it, but it's too dark and too yellow. This one is light enough, but also too yellow for me. I can't use it under my eyes, then my under eye area looks just straight up yellow and it looks awful, so I can't really use this one, but I'm going to keep both of them. This one because I love the scent and I love the packaging, and so I'm going to keep it. It's not taking up too much space, and I from time to time use it on my face. It can work sometimes on my face if I combine it with another powder, so I'm going to keep it. This one here I'm going to keep as well for a very strange reason, maybe because my usual setup for filming is that I have a little box in front of me and I'm placing my mirror on this box and it's not high enough, so I need something about this height that I can put my mirror on, and I use it for that for a long time now, and It's working perfectly well, so I'm going to keep it for my camera setup and my mirror and not for the powder, but I'm keeping it for this reason. It's good for that and I don't have the need to give this one away, so I'm going to keep it. Now this one here is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores loose setting powder in translucent, and it's a very finely milled powder and it's also very pore blurring, and this one is my favorite powder out of all of these, and if I have used this one up, I'm going to get the compact form of it because I know they have this powder in a compact form and I think it will be working the same, so I really want to try it out. And I can buy IT Cosmetics now in Austria, so it's really easy to get my hands on it, and yes, I'm going to keep this one because it's my all-time favorite powder, and this one and the Hourglass one are my main powders that I'm using for every day. Now that's everything. We have finished all my face products and I'm going to show you first what I'm getting rid of. It's in this box here, everything is in here. And we have 3 foundations, 3 concealers, 1 color corrector and 1 powder. And I think that's everything I want to get rid of. It's perfectly fine. I like my collection the size it is now, and yes, I'm happy to get rid of all of these, and now I'm going to show you what I'm going to keep. Now here you can see all the products I'm going to keep, and I think it's a nice size for my collection. I love it this way and I'm really happy with the decluttering. I didn't want to get rid of all of my makeup and I didn't want to bring it down to half of the size or anything like that. I just want to declutter what I'm not using, and I'm really happy with what I have, and I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. I really like decluttering videos, and so I really hope that you like it. I really hope that you like them too. Next we are going to declutter my blushes, bronzers and highlighters, and then next I think my lipsticks, and then maybe single shadows and eyeliners and stuff like that. I don't know, let me know down below in the comments if you like decluttering videos and if you want to see any part of my collection in particular. And let me know down below if you like the setup of my video because it's very new to me. I have moved and so everything is new now, but I hope that you have been able to see everything clear, and yes, I really hope that you liked this video. If you did, then please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I wish you all an awesome day.